It was just another busy day at Elegance Emporium, the high-end boutique on Rodeo Drive where celebrities and socialites often shopped for exclusive designer goods. The store was known for its pristine interior, with gleaming marble floors, soft golden lighting, and racks of one-of-a-kind couture pieces. Manager James Kincaid, a sharp-dressed man in his late 30s, prided himself on maintaining the boutique's exclusive reputation. He carefully vetted the clientele, ensuring that only the right kind of people were allowed inside, those who looked like they belonged. That afternoon, as James reviewed the latest inventory shipment in his office, the front door chimed. His assistant, Marissa, quickly approached him with a concerned look. "There's a guy out front asking about our limited edition collection," she said. "But I don't think he's our usual type of customer." James raised an eyebrow. "What do you mean?" Marissa hesitated. "Well, he's wearing a tracksuit and sunglasses, and he smells like, smoke." James frowned and strode out of the office, his polished leather shoes clicking against the marble. When he reached the showroom, he spotted the man in question browsing a display of designer bags. He was tall and lean, wearing a casual outfit that clashed with the boutique's ultra-luxurious vibe. His presence immediately drew glances from the other customers and staff, who seemed unsure how to react. "Excuse me, sir," James said, his tone brisk. "May I help you?" The man looked up, lowering his sunglasses slightly. "What's up, man?" he said in a laid-back drawl. "Just checking out some of these bags. Y'all got the new collection?" James crossed his arms. "We cater to a very exclusive clientele. These are limited edition pieces, and they're not available to everyone." The man tilted his head slightly, as if amused. "Exclusive, huh? So what do I gotta do to get a look at the good stuff?" James's jaw tightened. He wasn't accustomed to such casual, almost playful behavior from customers. Typically, our clients have a long-standing relationship with the store. These items aren't something we just show to anyone walking in off the street. The man smiled faintly. "Ah, I get it. You think I don't belong here." James hesitated but then stood his ground. "I'm just saying that our boutique has certain standards." The man leaned on the counter, his demeanor still relaxed. "Standards? Okay. What if I told you I could pay cash? Would that meet your standards?" Before James could reply, another customer, a well-dressed older woman, whispered to her companion, "Why is he even here? He doesn't look like someone who'd shop in a place like this." Her words, though quiet, carried across the room. James saw this as a cue. "Sir, perhaps it's best if you leave. I don't think we have what you're looking for." The man straightened, nodding slowly. "All right. If that's how you feel." As he turned to leave, another customer entered the store, a young woman in designer sunglasses and a sharp blazer. She stopped in her tracks, her jaw dropping as she recognized the man walking out. "Oh my God! It's Snoop Dogg," she exclaimed, loud enough for everyone in the store to hear. The boutique fell silent. James froze, the blood draining from his face. The casual, laid-back man he just dismissed was none other than the world-famous rapper, entrepreneur, and pop culture icon. A man whose net worth dwarfed the boutique's entire inventory. Snoop Dogg stopped at the doorway, glancing back over his shoulder with a knowing smile. "Guess your standards don't include recognizing a legend," he said lightly, then walked out into the sunshine. The store erupted into whispers and murmurs. Customers pulled out their phones, trying to snap pictures through the glass windows. Marissa turned to James, wide-eyed. "Oh my God, that was really him. How could you not know?" James swallowed hard. I just assumed," Marissa shook her head. "You assumed he didn't belong." Before James could respond, the young woman who had recognized Snoop Dogg was already talking into her phone, likely spreading the story on social media. Within minutes, it was trending. Snoop Dogg kicked out of high-end boutique, manager didn't know who he was. James retreated to his office, his mind racing. He had just made one of the biggest PR blunders of his career, and now the whole world would know. Back in his office, James could already hear the low hum of whispers spreading across the boutique floor. He had been the store manager for years, known for his polished demeanor and sharp instincts, but now he felt those instincts had failed him spectacularly. He glanced at his phone. The trending headlines were coming in fast and furious. Manager snubs Snoop. Luxury store faces backlash after icon gets kicked out. Legendary rapper takes the high road after being turned away. He sat down in his desk, rubbing his temples, trying to figure out how to spin this. But deep down, James knew there wasn't much he could do. His actions spoke for themselves, and now the entire internet was dissecting every possible implication, prejudice, elitism, and the ugly tendency to judge someone by appearances. By the time his regional director called, the situation had gone from bad to worse. "James, what on earth is going on over there?" her sharp voice demanded. "I'm looking at multiple outlets covering this story. We have people threatening to boycott, and it hasn't even been 2 hours." James began, his throat dry. "I didn't realize it was Snoop Dogg." He didn't look like what?" "James," the director cut him off. "Like the kind of customer we're supposed to treat with dignity and respect? I don't care what you thought. He is a globally recognized figure with an impeccable reputation as a professional and a philanthropist. Do you have any idea how bad this makes us look?" James slumped in his chair, his mind replaying the scene over and over. He had tried to project authority, to maintain an air of exclusivity, but in doing so, he had made a snap judgment that would cost the store dearly. Out on the shop floor, Marissa tried to calm the growing crowd. Customers were openly talking about the incident, some pulling out their phones to record commentary. "I was here," one woman told her followers on Instagram Live. "I saw it happen. They treated him like he didn't belong. This store should be ashamed." A few customers approached Marissa. "Can I get the name of the manager?" one asked, her tone icy. "I want to make sure corporate knows exactly who's responsible." Marissa glanced toward the office, where the door was still shut. I'm sorry. I'm not authorized to," the customer cut her off. "You don't need authorization. Just tell me who's in charge. I want to file a formal complaint." Marissa sighed. "Our store manager is James Kincaid." The customer nodded, typing the name into her phone. "Trust me, the world is going to know who did this." Meanwhile, Snoop Dogg's name trended even higher on social media. The rapper himself had taken to Instagram, posting a short video of himself walking down Rodeo Drive. He was laughing, clearly unbothered, and spoke directly to his fans. "Man, sometimes people just don't know who they're talking to," Snoop said, flashing a relaxed smile. "It's all good though. Much love to all the fans out there. Keep it cool, and don't sweat the small stuff. One love." The video instantly racked up millions of views, and the comments section exploded with support. Fans applauded Snoop's calm reaction and his willingness to rise above the situation. "Legend," one comment read. "Treated with disrespect and still handled it like a class act." Back at the boutique, the regional director's voice had gone from sharp to icy. "James, I'm putting you on leave until further notice. Corporate will be issuing a public apology, and we'll have to review our policies and training immediately. I'll be sending a representative to the store first thing tomorrow to handle this mess. I don't need to tell you how much damage you've done." "Yes, ma'am," James said quietly, knowing there was no defense he could offer. As the day wore on, customers continued to talk about what had happened, and news vans parked outside the store. Reporters wanted statements, but the staff had been instructed to remain silent. Marissa found herself answering questions from a steady stream of concerned patrons. "How could this happen?" one woman asked, shaking her head. "Snoop Dogg, of all people. Doesn't the manager know who he is?" By closing time, the store had emptied out, but the repercussions were only beginning. James stayed in his office, scrolling through the online backlash, his name now attached to headlines he'd rather not read. When the boutique reopened the next morning under the watchful eye of the regional representative, the vibe was tense. An official apology was issued on behalf of the store, and a statement was posted on all the boutique's social media channels. "We deeply regret the way Mr. Broadus, Snoop Dogg, was treated in our store. Our staff's actions were unacceptable, and we are committed to ensuring this does not happen again. We have reached out to Mr. Broadus to personally apologize and are taking immediate steps to address this internally." The apology did little to quell the outrage. The damage was done, and while the store's name would survive, James's reputation was in tatters. By the end of the week, his leave of absence became permanent, and his name disappeared from the boutique's website. Snoop Dogg, for his part, never spoke publicly about James. He didn't need to. The internet had already rendered its verdict. His calm, gracious response had won him even more admiration, while James became a cautionary tale about the dangers of snap judgments and the importance of treating every customer with respect, no matter how they appear.